Hi friends, my name is Nataraj. In other video I was talking about how to develop one-to-many unidirectional example application by using XML configuration. As part of that, I had developed two domain classes. One is user domain class having special property to hold what? Set of child objects. Special property to hold set of child objects. Phone number class, no special property because that is one-to-many unidirectional association, that to parent to child. That means parent only will have a special property to hold what? Set of child objects. So before watching this video, I request viewers to see first part of this application development, first video of this application development where we kept entire background ready. If I revise that one, I kept tables ready in SQL prompt. I kept my tables ready in SQL prompt, user underscore table and phone underscore numbers. Two tables ready we kept. Next, we created one Eclipse project. In that Eclipse project, we have taken some packages. So in that packages, in domain class, parent domain class is ready and child domain class is also ready. And we have added some jars through pom.xml and OJDBC6.jar we have added manually through build path. This is what we have done in another video. So let's go for Hibernate utility class development. What is the need of Hibernate utility class? In one project, we will write multiple DOs. In every DO, we will write multiple methods having persistence logic. In every method, we need session object. Instead of creating session object manually in every method of DO class, better to write separately in one utility class so that wherever we want we can get the session object, wherever we want we can close the session object. Similarly, same thing can be applied towards creating session factory object and what? Closing session factory object. So let's develop one Hibernate util.java for this. So let's start the development of Hibernate util.java. Let's start the development of Hibernate util.java. Let's plan private static. I want to take session factory object as what? Static variable, so that I can create in static block and I can use in static methods of my class. So session factory. See, generally in real time, where some useful things are there, those classes are called util classes. So this is the useful thing for entire Hibernate project or application, to create session factory, to create session, to close session factory, to close session. That's why I named it as what? Hibernate util class. So string util, lot of string utility methods will be there. IO util, lot of IO streams related utility methods will be there. Common util, some common utility methods will be there. So similarly, Hibernate util, where Hibernate related utility methods are there. Sir, why are you trying to create static factory, session factory in the static block? The moment this util class is ready, I want to activate Hibernate framework. Hibernate framework generally activated when we create what? Configuration object and session factory object. So the moment this class is loaded, I want to keep those things ready. And moreover, static block is one-time execution block. I want to activate Hibernate framework only for one time in the entire project. So JVM loads class only for one time. Static block also executes only for one time. Due to this, configuration object, session factory object will be created once. Due to this, Hibernate framework will be activated once. And that is what exactly we need. So that's the reason I'm preferring to create what? Session factory object, configuration objects in what? Static block. So to use in static block, we have to take a reference variable of session factory as what? Static reference variable. Create a session factory object. Yes. create session factory object. See here I am taking variable here, factory is equal to, in a single line I want to finish, new configuration dot, this will activate Hibernate framework, configure method. Here I have to specify the location of, what? Hibernate configuration file. So let's see how to specify that. src/com/nt/cfg/hibernate.cfg.xml dot build session factory. What is the method I am taking? Build session factory. The method I am taking here is what? Build session factory. Here I am using method chaining concept here. Choose the correct configuration class. Here I am using method chaining concept to create and what? Session factory object, to create configuration object and session factory object. This gives configuration object where Hibernate will be activated. This configure method again gives what? Configuration object. Again gives what? Configuration object. Okay. Loading configuration file and associated mapping files information as metadata information, and build session factory is the method that creates what? Session factory object. Please refer my initial videos of Hibernate playlist, so where I have talked about the importance of configuration object, session factory object, all these things very much in detail. But in this video I am basically focusing on what? Completing my first association mapping example. Okay, nice. So this is static block. Now I am taking one static method, public static session open session, public static session open session, control plus shift plus O. So here my responsibility is creating and returning session object. I am also taking one global variable here, private static session SES is equal to null. Yes, I am taking global variable so that I can use in other methods also. Let's see this. Session is equal to factory dot open session. Session is equal to factory dot open session, and you say return session. Okay, boss. Next, we'll go for one method where I want to close a session factory and session object. Static void close session. Yes. Here I am simply calling what method here? Session dot close. That's it. Similarly, I am taking one more method, static void close session factory. All these are utility methods. To call them easily, I am taking those methods as what? Static methods, so that they can be called on what? Hibernate util class directly. So what is this? Factory dot close. Nice. End of class, end of what? Method. So total 3 methods are there, one static block is there. In the static block I created configuration object and session factory object. It's not open session, let me take method name as what? Get session. So there I created session and returned it. In close session I closed the session. In close session factory method I closed what? Session factory object. With this we are ready with what? Hibernate util. If it is a web application, we will make it thread based session creation. Since it is a standalone application, I am going in a normal manner. Fine. So now it is time to develop one Hibernate configuration file and mapping file. Hibernate configuration file and what? Mapping file. So new others. So new others general file. What is the name of the file you want to take? Generally it will be hibernate.cfz.xml. hibernate.cfz.xml. Yes. So in this one, I'm not developing from the scratch. Why? Because it's not a first application of Hibernate to develop from scratch level. I'm trying to copy the content from any reference file. So let me copy the content from what? A reference file. So this part I'm copying from some of my old example, but we need to even copy doc type part also. What part are here? Doc type. We need to even copy including doc type. Let's go there, say paste. So let's try to understand this. Doc type, it says we are developing this XML document against what? Hibernate-configuration-3.0 DTD file. So you know that based on latest jars we are using for JDBC driver, specifying and loading driver class name is optional because nowadays they are supporting auto loading of driver class. What? No? Okay, URL, so according to my system, SID is XC, username according to my system, password according to my system, show underscore SQL. This is there to tell to Hibernate, please show the render SQL statements, the generated SQL statement. Format underscore SQL, it is there to format generated SQL. This is dialect to instruct the Hibernate, we are interested to work with so and so database. Because of this, some intelligent default values will be generated for the properties even though they are not configured in properties file. Recollect? Even though they are not configured in properties file, because of dialect, Hibernate assign intelligent sensible values for the properties. Here you have to specify name and location of mapping files. So here the mapping files that we are planning to take is user.hbm.xml, that's the one thing, and another file that we are interested to take is phone number.hbm.xml. What dot? Phone number.hbm.xml. phone number.hbm.xml. Yes. User.hbm.xml, phone number.hbm.xml. Right, these are the two things. Yeah. Let me start the development of what? Mapping files. So here is what? My first mapping file. Class, not class, a file, user.hbm.xml. So it needs one doc type. So instead of me developing the doc type manually, let me copy from any old example. So this is one old mapping file in my system. Copy this hibernate-mapping-3.0.dtd. This is it. Okay. Then we should write a tag called hibernate-mapping. Hibernate-mapping. So there we have to write the remaining things, class and all this stuff. So first of all, what is the tag we are having? Class. Class name, you have to write the name of the class. First of all, you observe what are the properties we are having. User ID, first name, last name, address, and special property phones, and class name is user. And we are having tables. We are having what? Tables. So maybe user underscore table is one table and phone underscore numbers is what? Another table. So let's this one. package.com.nt.domain.user. First, total 5 properties are there. 3 are normal properties. One is what? Special property of type collection. What is the table, boss? User underscore table. We'll verify whether table is correct or not. We'll verify in a minute. Okay, now at least one property should be configured as what? Identity field, identifier field. I'm going to take that one as what? User ID. Let's take ID name, user ID, ID name what? User ID. So since it is matching with column name, there is no need of taking column attribute. Next, property name. Property name. So what is that? First name. Since it is matching with what? Column name, there is no need of taking column attribute. Property name is equal to what is that? Last name. Yes. Similarly, we got property name is equal to ADDRS. Property name is equal to ADDRS. This is my user.java address, last name, first name, user ID. Nice. Then one property is left in user.java. What is that here? Phones property. We have to think about developing that what? Phones property, configuring that. But that is not a simple property to configure. That's a collection. What collection? Set collection. To configure set collection property, set tag. List collection property, list or bag tag. To configure map collection property, map tag. To configure array type of property, array tag. So right now we are having set collection, which is looking to hold set of associated child class objects. So say associated objects of child class, associated objects of child class based on foreign key column. As I have explained in the sample code, you have to take what? Set tag. Set name is equal to phones. Set name is equal to phones. Here I am taking one attribute called cascade. I am taking one attribute called cascade is equal to all. Whether it's the best value or not, I will talk later. But for the time being, cascading means anything happens on main object. Any non-select persistence operation happened on main object should be cascaded, should be propagated to associated child objects. For example, I called session.save method on main object. What object? Main object. Not only it saves main object, it also try to save associated what? Child objects to the table. I called delete method, session.delete method on main object. Not only it saves main object, it try to delete what? Associated child objects from child table. So cascading means, okay, anything happening on main object should reflect to what? Associated object, but it is towards non-select operation, not towards what? Select operation. Okay. Why we are enabling it? Yes, after staying in association, who will save parent and child object separately? If I save parent object, automatically associated what? Child object should be saved, no doubt in that. Yes. Here is what? Key column. Now listen. When parent object is saved, associated child object should be saved in table. But how they should be linked? Based on foreign key column. When parent object is loaded, associated child object should be loaded. How they should be loaded? Based on foreign column. So to build entire relation, what is the main column? Foreign key column. That's why you have to write column attribute. Can I say one blind thing here? I think key column, foreign key column is user ID. Foreign key column is what? User ID. Key tag or key attribute in anywhere, please remember it should be what? Foreign key column. It should be what? Foreign key. Either key column, key tag or key attribute. Fine. Now listen. In many-to-many set collection will be there to build the association. One-to-many also set collection will be there to build the association. Now that's why you should give clarity to Hibernate. You are using this set collection to build which association? One-to-many, many-to-many. Yes, I am asking Hibernate to bring child objects and to build one-to-many association. That's the reason under set tag, you have to write what? One-to-many tag. If I write many-to-many tag here, it uses this set collection to build many-to-many association. If I write one-to-many here, it will use this set collection to build one-to-many association. There is no question of writing one to one and many to one, because to build this association there is no need of collection special property. We have to take some other type of property. Only in one to many to many only collection property will be there, because there only there is a question of what? Holding multiple child objects being from parent. So right now, though it is a collection, I am not looking for many to many association. I am looking for what? One to many association. To tell that, I am taking what tag here? One to many. Class is equal to, here I have to specify child class. Com dot nt dot domain dot, what is this? Phone number. Child dot, what is that? Phone number. End of the class. Domain class and table. Parent class table. Nice. Identity property. First name, last name, address. Other simple properties. Special property is phones. And cascade is equal to all indicates anything happened on user object should be cascaded to associated phone number objects. And for this user object, how child object should be associated based on foreign key column. That's why I am mentioning what? FK column here. And this set collection phones property should hold what? Child class object. That's why the child class is built. In what mode? One to many relation mode. That's why I am mentioning one to many tag. If I write many to many, it will build many to many relationship. See, total how many properties are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First property is identity property, remaining 3 are simple properties. They are configured in a simple manner. But fifth property type is what? Phones. What is the type? Set. That's why set tag. You should hold what? Child class objects. Based on which relation? One to many. That's why child class is mentioned. How parent record or parent object should get child object? Based on foreign key column. In the save operation, how relation should be there between both parent and child objects? Based on foreign key column. That's why I configured foreign key column name. So in the child table we have one foreign key column. That foreign key column you have to configure. I hope you got a clarity there. Right. Let's develop one more mapping file to configure what? Child class. You may ask me one question. Why can't we configure both domain classes in a single mapping file? Yes, that can be done. I am not saying it cannot be done. But it is not recommended process. What process here? Recommended. It's always suggested to take separate mapping file for every domain class. So shall I go for that one? New other file. What is the name of the file I want to take? Phone number .hbm.xml. Any XML file name I can give. Go to this, copy this, say paste. So as usually I am taking what tag? Hibernate mapping tag. Hibernate mapping tag. First of all, you look at child class. How many properties are there? 4 properties are there. All are simple properties. No special property, no association property. And one property should be configured as identifier property. I am taking phone as that property. So total 3 properties. One as identifier property, remaining 2 as what? Simple properties. So shall we go for now? Class name com.nt.domain. What is that here? Phone number. Phone number. Table is equal to phone underscore number. Table is equal to phone underscore number. You can see the tables here. User underscore table, phone underscore number. So luckily column names and this is foreign key column, leave it. Column names and property names are matching. Look at this. What are the property names we are having? Phone, number type, provider. Both are matching, seriously matching. So let's see how it can be done. ID name is equal to phone. ID name is equal to phone. That's nice. Identifier property. And remaining two properties are what? Number type and provider. Property type name is equal to number type. Next. Property name is equal to what is this? Provider. Is the another property we are having, provider. This is the another property we are having, provider. That's it. Nice. So one is user.hbm.xml, other one is what? Phone number.hbm.what? These are ready. There is no need of configuring foreign key column. That is optional. Basically, there is no need of what? Taking property for foreign key column, there is no need of configuring that property. So if we take also, there is no need of configuring property. So that's why taking property for foreign key column is optional. But when you are building association by using set collection and set tag, there you must specify foreign key column. Then only Hibernate will have idea based on which column value it has to fetch. It has to get associated what child object, or at the same time of saving. Okay, based on which column association should build foreign key column. That foreign key column you must mention while configuring what? Parent class special property. Nice, boss. Now we have to test it here. So generally we prefer writing persistence logic in what? DAO. And you know that a Java class that separate persistence logic from other logics makes that logic as what? Flexible to modify, reusable logic. We should contain only persistence logic. If project is having less than 100 tables, okay, you have to take one DAO for one table. If project is having more than 100 tables, you have to take what? One DAO for related tables. So like this, so many suggestions I have given. Please look at my other video where I talked about what? DAO classes. So generally every DAO contains one interface, one implementation class, one factory. So here also I am taking what? One interface, DAO interface. So here, so one to many DAO, because since otherwise you can take user DAO kind of thing also. Since it's an example of one to many, I am taking one to many DAO interface. Here I am declaring one method. What is that? Save data. So you are not passing any parameters. Right now I decided to hard code the values. That's why I am taking what? Save data without any parameters. Later we will see how to develop a layered application, getting data in the form of what? BOs, DTOs, VOs, converting one form to another form. That's a big thing. But right now it's a basic example. I decided to hard code the data. That's why I am going for this. Let's develop one implementation class. One to many DAO IMPL. What is the interface we should implement? One to many DAO. Save, finish. Yes. Here first of all get to session, because to perform save operation definitely what? Get session. Saved. What I should do? I will prepare parent objects and child objects with the hard coded values. I associated child objects to parent. I call save method only on parent object, but still it inserts the record in parent table and associated child table. So let's see. Session SCS is equal to null. Control plus shift plus O. Session SCS is equal to null. SCS is equal to Hibernate util dot get session. We are ready with what? Session. Hibernate util dot get session. Next, we are ready with the session object. Prepare parent objects. Parent object. I want to take one parent and two childs. User is equal to null. Nice. Control plus shift plus O. Okay, done. User is equal to new user of, done. Yes, user dot, okay, I'm just using setter method here, user ID, or if you are interested you can generate it dynamically. I'm just taking 1001. User dot set first name, yeah, I'm giving some Indian name. User dot set last name, some Rao, South Indian surname. Okay, so user dot set address, so we basically belongs to Hyderabad. Yes, Hyderabad. Okay, now parent object is ready. So prepare child objects. Prepare what? Child objects. So first of all, let me take two child objects. Phone number, phone 1 is equal to null. It's a standard declaring all local variables at the top of method definition is one coding standard. Phone 2 is equal to null. Control plus shift plus O. Control plus shift plus O. Yes, here what is this? Phone 1 is equal to new phone number. Phone number dot set number type. It's a residence number. Next, phone 1 dot set phone. Set phones, all 9s L, because I have taken it as a long variable. All 9s L, I have taken it as a long variable. 3, 6 plus 4 is enough, 10 numbers. Next, phone 1 dot set provider. Who is the provider? Airtel. Okay, nice. I'm just taking same thing for one more time. Phone 2, here phone 2, phone 2, phone 2 and phone 2. So let's go for office here. It's the office number. Yeah, last 4 digits are changed to 4 8s. Nice. Here is what? Vodafone. Here is what? Vodafone. Add childs to set collection, because I should add set of childs to parent, multiple childs to parent. It is parent is expecting as set collection elements. So first of all, let me add child objects to set collection. Add set collection, right? Let's see. Set is equal to new hash set of. Set is equal to new hash set of. Otherwise, I'll just take only one thing. Set is equal to null. Here, generic should be taken a phone number. Super. Control plus shift plus O. To import the packages, to simply import the packages. Set is equal to, come on, new hash set. This is a crucial part of the code. Everyone should concentrate. New hash set. That's nice. Set dot add phone 1. I'm just keeping childs to set collection here. Set dot add phone 2. Add childs to. Add what? Childs to. Add childs to parent. User dot set phones. User dot set phones. It's not phones, it is set, because now both childs are there in set collection. Yes. So now save objects. Save object. So save operation should be taken as what? Transactional statement. Try block here. I am taking transaction tx is equal to null. Done. Control plus shift plus O. Yes, I am taking Hibernate transaction here. Tx is equal to session dot begin transaction. Tx dot commit. Yes, that's done. Here I am going for session dot save user. Session dot save user. Here I am saving object. What is that? Parent to child. Here I am saving object parent to child. That's nice. Sys out. So let me write one confirmation message here. So let me say objects are saved. Objects are saved. That's really nice. So then catch block. Exception E. Here I will say tx dot rollback. Then I will say objects are not saved. That's really nice. Then we have to think about going for what? End of the method, end of the class. So in the DAO I have taken one persistence method. In that method I prepared one parent object. I prepared two child objects. Child objects are added to set collection. Child objects are added to set collection. Set collection is added to what? Parent object. I am asking what? Session dot save method is used to save the parent object. Nice. Fine, boss. Phone number dot java, user dot java. This is ready. Now I am taking one factory because so many people wants to use this DAO, but they don't want to bother about how to create DAO class object. That I don't want to see they are bothering about how to create DAO class object. That's why simply I want to create one factory and I want to supply to them. I want to give one factory and I want to supply to them. So that's why this factory will take care of what? Creating DAO class object. One to many DAO factory. Nice. One to many DAO factory. Right. Here I am taking one static method. Static one to many DAO get instance. Yeah, generally method names will be get instance here because when you call that static method, definitely you will get object. That's why. Here right now only one version of DAO is there. So if multiple DAOs are there, based on the data we pass, it will create one DAO class object and returns. Return one to many DAO IMPL of. It definitely creates and returns what? One DAO IMPL class object. Return new one to many DAO IMPL class object. So DAO is ready, DAO IMPL is ready, factory is ready. Here are my what? Mapping files, here are my domain classes. Everything is perfect. Util class is also ready. Let's test it. In the client application, we access the DAO and we'll test the application. So one to many test, one to many test. I need a main method. That's nice. That's it. First here I have to get what? DAO. Get DAO. That's nice. One to many DAO. DAO is equal to what? Null. One to many DAO. DAO is equal to null. One to many DAO. DAO is equal to null. So when you have this kind of problem, just to press space once and import it. If Eclipse is giving problem to import the really available class, just press one space and Control plus Shift plus O, it happily imports the package. So let's see, DAO is equal to one to many DAO factory dot get instance. Nice. So then invoke methods. Right now I have save data. I'm just having save data, right? Close Hibernate objects, because once work is over, better to close session factory, na? If you don't close session, connection with the database will not be closed. If you don't close session factory, the activated Hibernate will not be deactivated. So Hibernate util dot close session first, then we have Hibernate util dot close session factory. That's it. End of main, end of class. Shall we run this application? Yes. Let's start running these applications. Let's start running these applications. One too many test. I'm running the application. Let's see what happens. This is the console. Could not locate cfz dot what XML file. Could not locate cfz dot what XML file. The solution for that problem is, there is no need of specifying src while locating configuration file. Just slash is enough, and followed by that slash you have to write the remaining thing. That's the only one problem. So src is extra, because by default it will locate the src. From the src you have to specify the remaining thing. So now we got it, and we are running the application. Yes, I have shown the tables before running the application. Now application is successfully executed. We got objects are saved, and if you observe, actually we called session.save only on what? Session.save only on what? Parent object, but it is inserting one record in parent table, also inserting what? 2 records in associated child table, phone underscore number table, also updating our what? User ID, I mean say FK column to build the association. See, updating FK column to build the association. So select star from user underscore table. One record is inserted in parent table. Select star from phone underscore number. 2 associated records are inserted in what? Child table. See, because of foreign key column, this association is built. Like this, we can enjoy the benefit of what? One to many association. See, who is doing this work? Cascade is equal to all, that is mentioned in what? Hibernate mapping file. That is mentioned in Hibernate mapping file is first, the moment we save parent object, it is also saving what? Associated child objects of that user object, nothing but parent object. So practice very carefully, see all the content that is there in the video, okay? So definitely you will be benefited. In the coming videos, I am even going to develop same application through annotations. Same application through what? Annotation, because now it's a trend of working with what? Annotation. Based on this knowledge, I am going to redesign same application through what? Annotation. So I hope you benefited with this video, okay? Happy coding, okay? Thank you.